The road trips, the weight room, the film study, the practice time. This is where you hope it all pays off. The Wolverines' journey to the Final Four began here in Buffalo, New York against Howard University out of Washington, D.C. Inside Michigan Basketball is presented by Meijer.
I know, like, if we lose this game, it could be the end, and I'm not ready for the season to be over with yet. So I'm just making sure I do my best, come here and do what I do every game.
Every team is good here, so we are not thinking about we are, the favorites to win the game. We are just thinking about just if you lose the game, you go home.
We all know how dangerous the NCAA tournament is. Every team here is here for a reason. They're really good, and it's daunting to even look at the brackets. We're very well versed, and upsets can happen anytime, anywhere, especially when you're playing a team that's as capable as Howard. Concentration and focus for 40 minutes. We said this season, over the course of a year, we have to develop the capacity to concentrate and focus 100% for 40 minutes every single game. We're at that point now where it's important. Impact the game with defense, offensive rebounding, hustle plays. We saw the almost upset earlier with Duke and Siena, correct? When things weren't going well, Duke changed the flow of the game with hustle plays, with defensive effort. They didn't do it by hitting step-back threes, by being a hero. They did it with all the effort and energy plays. That's got to be us. It's not like it's going to go poorly, but in case it does, we don't get tight. We just keep plugging away, knowing we're one energy away from getting this thing turned. Let's go have some fun. You guys deserve to be in this moment, to go out and hoop like we did in Vegas. I've heard EC say it a couple times. Let's go out and overwhelm these guys with effort.
The Wolverines facing the Bison in Buffalo of all places, such is the quirky nature of March Madness. Michigan started the game on an 8-0 run thanks to its early marksmanship from three. Local boy Roddy Gale Jr. leaped off the bench and found his range right away.
Kick it left side. Here's Gale for a rainmaking three. Oh yeah! It falls here in Buffalo for Roddy Gale Jr. 11-4 Michigan.
And then Gale taking this dish from Adai Mara. 18-11 Wolverines. Howard didn't come in as a high-volume three-point shooting team, but man, they were feeling it. The Bison connected on 10 threes in the first half, keeping them in the game, trailing just 26-23. Will Cheddar told us Wednesday you can't get too high or too low during the tournament. He answered with back-to-back long balls as the Wolverines knocked down 7 in the opening stanza.
Left side, here's Cheddar, another three. Another bang! Will Cheddar knocks down 2 big threes.
Late in the half, Namari Burnett with a twisting, twirling bucket and the Band-Aid. He netted 15, Michigan up by 11 with 57 seconds left in the half. But Howard scored the final 7 points of the frame, 4 coming on this and 1 on a three-pointer by Bryce Harris. Grab a Fresca and some Funyuns. We've got a game, 50-46 at the half. Second half, time for Rez Johnson Jr. to shine.
Cano drives right lane line, takes it in, left corner. Here's Johnson, sights a three. Yes! Michigan's 9th triple, 61-52 Michigan.
Rez putting on the hard hat and going to work in the paint. The big man had 17 of his team-high 21 in the second half.
3-on-2 inside Johnson, shot fake, laying it up, and jammed it down. 72-59 Michigan lead.
Gale certainly gave family and friends from nearby Niagara Falls reason to cheer. A 12-1 run put Michigan up by 18. He clocked out with 14 on 6 of 7 shooting. The Wolverine size won out in the end. Mara also had a big second half, scoring 8 during a 10-1 Michigan burst. He charted 19 along with 7 boards. Michigan just feasted inside, shooting 67% for the game and knocking off Howard 101-80, avoiding any first-round drama.
Second half, we came out playing hard, making sure we was the hardest playing team on the floor. We should have did from the jump, making sure we made things hard for them, pressured them with our defense and our length, and things started going our way. We started playing team basketball.
enjoy this one for a couple hours. Enjoy this one. We'll know who we're playing later, and let's dive back into the preparation. But guys, we got better in the second half. And the thing from the bench that I really noticed in the second half, you could hear that with 5 guys. We were on our toes. We were moving. We were lost in the fight. So let's do that again. All right, let's bring it in.
Up next, we'll dive into the battle with the Billikens, and later our chat with Coach May and the women hosting their NCAA opener. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Meijer, proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest, and by Michigan Medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer.
Their number one goal is assisted layups. They want layups from the passer to live to layups, so we can't allow very many assisted layups this game. Offensive keys dominate the paint. We know we have a decided advantage in the paint. Guys, red zone and our pace. Get to our red zone quickly, under control. The last thing, most importantly, we talked about in Vegas, fellas. No one needs to be the hero here. No one needs to be anything other than who you are every day. You got a dog to the right. You got a dog to the left, across the board. Guys, win the shot battle. Whoever gets more shots in this game, turnovers, offensive rebounds is going to win the game. Guys, we're 19-1 in the Big Ten, man. 19-1 in the Big Ten. These guys haven't seen that type of size, length, and physicality, but it only matters if we use it. Let's be energized on defense. Let's set the tone on the defensive end. The offense will come. Come on.
Both of these teams scored over 100 points in their opening round wins. The pace was brisk as expected. Nimari Burnett drills a 3. A couple minutes later, this was simply incredible.
Lob it up, 50-50 ball, caught by ball over his shoulder, able to bang it home off glass for 2, 20-12 Michigan.
Yaxel Lendeborg from the defensive free throw line, and Mara the crazy finish, Michigan up by 8. But the Billikens answered an 8-0 Michigan run with a 9-0 spurt of their own, all from distance to reclaim the lead. Elliot Cadeau was playing with a stealth-like focus. He connects on a deep ball and then gets inside.
Takes it in, leans, floats, banks, and scores. Elliot Cadeau with an early 9. He leads everybody.
All 12 of his points came in the first half. Michigan averages 6 blocks per game and had 6 in the first half alone, finishing with 9. They ended up holding St. Louis 15 points below their season average. This was a half of micro runs. Mara, the cross-court delivery to Lendeborg, who calmly trains the 3, the Wolverines up 7. And then Mara, watch this fake and take, just undresses his man for 2 of his 16. That caps another 8-0 stretch. Here's another alley-oop for the Mason Blue.
Left wing Gale, lob it up, alley-oop, Lendeborg grabs it down right baseline. The 2 great friends, Gale and Lendeborg, connect.
Michigan up 48-39 halfway home. Second half, Trey McKinney continues to shine in his first NCAA tourney. Nothing rattles the freshman from Flint, one of the team's 11 threes. And then Lendeborg shows off on a coast-to-coast one-man break.
Lendeborg, over Quinn Jones! The Dominican LeBron with the tomahawk hammer!
That's your Big Ten Player of the Year. He finished with 25. None more impressive than those 2. Michigan up 66-57. The Wolverines threw some pressure at the Billikens, and it paid off.
And Burnett steals it away. He drives in, one-on-one against McCottry, laid it up and in. Timeout, Josh Schertz and St. Louis.
A 12-3 run, and it's 73-58. More Michigan fireworks. Rez Johnson Jr. with 2 of his 15 on the jam. They scored 42 points in the paint, rolling 95-72 and locking up a berth in the Sweet 16 next weekend in Chicago.
We're about to be back in Chicago, back with our crowd pretty much. But it was awesome. You know, we took these 2 games really seriously. The main goal has always been go to the national championship and win it. So, man, I'm just super excited and I hope to keep winning.
All right, second half, it looked like you especially asserted yourself in that second half. Just talk about that mindset as you guys tried to bust this game open.
Yeah, the game was getting a little too close for my liking. I've had some opportunities in the past to be aggressive, and I shied away from it. I don't want to be the reason that my team loses no matter what, and I know that they expect a lot more out of me. So whenever I see those opportunities, I'm going to start taking them from now on, and, you know, I can't back down now. You know, it's win or go home, and we're getting one step closer to the national championship.
An alley-oop pass from your own free throw line. Tell me about that play to Addae.
I didn't think he was going to catch it and dunk it right away. I thought he was going to land and, take his time. But, man, he's just such a freak. It's really crazy. But I'd made something like that last game Thursday. He didn't make it an alley-oop, but this time he did. So, I mean, this is crazy being able to just throw the ball wherever, and he's going to get it.
Tell me about that play.
First of all, I didn't see the rim. I knew that I was close to the rim. I knew that I was in the same line because I was watching the other basket. And I said, I'm just going to try to put it in. And if I miss, I will be there, right there. And I just I'm going to get the rebound and dunk it, So when I saw that I banged the shot and it went in, I was just I mean, honestly, I couldn't believe it. I think the people couldn't believe it either because I hear the people going oh, So.
Just to be able to experience this with a team that, we've created a lot of lifelong bonds throughout when we came here in the summer. And just to be able to do that, I mean, not a lot of teams get to make it to the Sweet 16. So it's very important and very special.
It's a great feeling, obviously, being back-to-back. We made it to the Sweet 16 last year. Fell a little short, but this year I feel more than confident. We will be able to surpass what we were able to accomplish last year. Obviously, extremely excited for our team, what we have been through and everything that we've overcome. And hopefully we can be able to take this energy and be able to ride it all the way out.
Was this game, and not only this game, but this weekend, a perfect example of the versatility of this offense?
Absolutely. I feel like we have many weapons as far as how we are as a unit, and we're able to play off from each other. And we're all more than happy for each other's success. I think that's just something that you don't really get to see throughout the country. So tonight, different guys had it going, and people just played off of that.
People watched that game and said, those two teams know how to play ball. They know how to play ball, and that's going to help you now, it's help you later. Let's feel really good about this, but also know we still have to get better. We have a week to get better for whoever we play. This team is really, really special if we stay connected and we get outside of ourselves. If you continue to think more about your teammate, as you guys have done all year, think more about your teammates than you do yourself, we're going to keep playing for a while, fellas. And I don't want, guys, the day that we're not with you guys every single day will crush us, man. You guys have been that great to coach, and so let's prolong this thing for as long as we possibly can. All right, let's bring it in, man. Good job.
Welcome back to the show. The Wolverines had a joyous weekend here in Buffalo, advancing to the Sweet 16. Here's our chat with head coach Dusty May. You come into the opening weekend, just give us a quick thought on Howard and the way the team handled that one.
Well, I thought we overcame some adversity. We're up 11 with 36 seconds to go in the half, and really ended on a sour note. And credit to our guys, they came out in the second half determined to crank it up defensively and find good flow to the game. And we took a haymaker from Howard.
Second round against St. Louis. Quick thought on facing a guy you know really well, but also a team that plays similar to you.
Well, you dread it on one hand because you know how smart they play, how their guys are incredibly connected and play off of each other, and they play to their strengths. And then on the flip side, it's always fun to scout and knowing you're going to learn a few things and you're going to be able to apply some of the things you picked up in that scout. So as a lifelong learner, I'm selfishly trying to pick things up all the time, and I think I probably picked up more from this scout than I have all year.
Was this a good example of the versatility of your offense?
Absolutely, and I want to credit our shooters for making shots early, which allowed the bigs to have some space, and then we were able to use their leverage to get, so you're outside, inside, back outside, back inside again, and that's a credit to a team that has great awareness of what's going on in the game.
You mentioned space. How critical is that to have an efficient offense?
Well, when you have two giants like we have up front and three up, I mean, really, the space is imperative. We're a really tough cover when we have the spacing and our guys are making the paint touch threes and the quality threes. But also, I think our guys turned down some good looks tonight to get great ones. Shout out to Amari Burnett. I thought his shot fake drive to the rim, he was really close to having a monster stat line.
Elliot Cadeau, always plays intense, but he looked like he had the eye of the tiger in this one. Did you see anything different from him, or was it just him locked in because it's tournament time?
It's tournament time, and the bigger the stage, the bigger the moment, the better he produces. I thought, as the staff calls him QB1, I thought QB1 was at his best in this game.
All right, defensively, they're a tough cover because they're so deep and the way they cut, the way they move. What'd you like about your defensive effort?
I thought we switched on the fly really well. We were able to cover up some mistakes by having great awareness of what's going on around us. And I thought our personnel, our knowledge of who each individual is, was as good as it's been all year.
All right, and the alley-oop from three-quarters court. I'm not sure I've seen anything quite like that. When's the last time you saw something like that?
Well, he's done that a few times this year, not quite that level, but there are 5 or 10 plays a game where our guys make these plays, and as a coach, I just sit over there and say, wow, like, thank goodness they're on our team.
All right, and lastly, just talk about your excitement level to head back to Chicago and live another weekend and taste the Sweet 16.
Well, really excited to enjoy this group even longer and continue to get better with them and have another week of preparation and just keep the train going.
Thanks, Dusty. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed.
Up next, the women's NCAA tournament comes to Chrysler. Welcome back to the show. The women were hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Their opener was Friday night against Holy Cross, the Patriot League champs out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Our goal coming in this year, even last year, was to host, and I think we talked about that a lot at the beginning of the season, and we accomplished that, but we want to keep going, and we want to get further than just hosting, so just keep our momentum going.
We've put the work in to get to this moment. We deserve to have that 2C next to our name. We deserve to have these games being played in here in Ann Arbor. So just coming into this first round with a lot of confidence, trusting that we put the work in to get to where we are.
The goal is to always be in this position, and they want to do something special for Michigan. They want to do things that haven't been done in Michigan women's basketball, and that's why they all committed to us a few years ago. But that's kind of the vision that we have now.
Michigan relied on its pace and versatility to overwhelm the visitors right from the jump.
Olsen up the floor, left wing for Holloway. Whips it into Ashley. Quick turnaround, left hand off glass. Yes, timeout, Holy Cross.
The Wolverines scored the first 10 points of the game.
Now Holloway to Olsen. Backdoor cut for Swords, left side. Racing in, laying it home.
Michigan shot 52% and led 27-6 after the first quarter.
We were able to jump on them. I just think the pace at which we play, the physicality at which we play, and the defense which we play really was able to jump on them right away.
The Crusaders recovered and played Michigan even in the second, but the home team led by 23 points at the break.
Olsen steaming right side of the lane. The jumper off the glass.
We're just playing Michigan basketball. We're not really focused on any type of favors or any outside noise. We know what we came here to do, and we know what we're capable of. So I think just taking it one day at a time and pouring into each other and just, believing in our focus and our mission.
The Maize and Blue had 5 players registered double figures, with Mia Holloway scoring 20 points, grabbing 8 rebounds, and adding 7 assists.
With us having such great players on our team, they draw a lot of attention, so it kind of opens up a lot of scoring opportunities for me, and I'm just glad that I can be able to deliver tonight. They found me in the right spots. I think we did a great job of just moving the basketball today.
Silas Swords drained her first 5 shots and finished with a baker's dozen. All-American Olivia Olsen scored in double digits for the 32nd time this season, collecting 12 points and 8 caroms. Brooke Quarles-Daniels also chipped in with 12. 8,500 fans were on hand at Chrysler Center to see the Wolverines advance 83-48.
It's nice to survive in advance, be one of 32 teams left playing and moving on. And it was an unbelievable crowd. It was a great environment. It was awesome to be at home, and just proud of the way our players competed.
Michigan takes on 7th seed North Carolina State Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Wolfpack beat Tennessee Thursday in game number 2. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Meijer, proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Back to put a bow on this edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. The women will host a second-round game on Sunday. The men off to Chicago for the Sweet 16. We'll be there with wall-to-wall coverage on our next edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. We hope to see you then.